Political parties rarely die in a single day. More often, they begin to dissolve one politician at a time. In 2022, the United Democratic Alliance (UDA) swept into power, riding on a potent economic campaign narrative and a formidable political coalition. Fast forward to today, and the ruling party faces an uncomfortable question. What happens when key architects and visible champions of a political machinery begin to walk away? In July 2026, Kiharu MP Ndindi Nyoro, one of the most vocal young leaders in the party and a key voice in Mount Kenya, publicly announced his exit from UDA.
Hasra nation ni nyumba kubwa, wakuje tujenge serikali yetu pamoja.
Just days later, former Gender Cabinet Secretary and coastal political heavyweight Aisha Jumwa held a press conference at her Malindi home, officially resigning from UDA after months of growing friction.
Hakuna wa kufanana na Ruto. Hakuna wa kufanana na Ruto.
These are not isolated exits, they represent key regional pillars of the 2022 winning alliance. So today we ask the core question: is UDA crumbling, or is it engineering a political rebirth? To understand the stakes, look at who is walking away. Ndindi Nyoro wasn't just a backbencher. He was a core lieutenant in William Ruto's 2022 campaign. When he exited, he declared that the party had abandoned ordinary Kenyans and that its signature symbol, the wheelbarrow, had failed in its promises.
Na hapa wote tumeondoka. There is no more person on top of a wheelbarrow or taking a wheelbarrow anywhere here in our place. Even the entire Kenya, watu wote, sisi wote, tuliondokea hiyo wheelbarrow.
Down at the coast, Aisha Juma was one of UDA's most formidable allies. Her resignation comes after intense disputes over party nominations for the 2027 Kilifi gubernatorial race and growing anxiety over broad-based coalition zoning.
Aisha Jumwa Karisa Katana is no longer a member of the United Democratic Alliance (UDA). This decision is not an act of anger, it is an act of concern.
Political parties aren't just registered names on registrars' lists. They are all networks of influence, local mobilization, funding, and voters' trust. When prominent leaders live across different regions, from Mount Kenya to the coast, the question isn't just where they are headed. The question is how many voters will go with them. Now here's where the institutional story gets nuanced. UDA's national executive is pushing against the narrative that the party is falling apart. Party leadership argues that high-profile exits are simply natural political realignments before an election season. Behind the scenes, UDA has been attempting to tighten its organizational grip, reviewing internal disciplinary reports to enforce party cohesion, amending its party constitution ahead of primary season, launching new structures like national aspirant forums and grassroots ward congresses to build a fresh bench for its candidates. This creates two compelling realities. On the ground, prominent religion leaders are distancing themselves or defecting. At the headquarters, the party apparatus is actively attempting to centralize power and streamline its structure.
Nachukua nafasi hii kuwashukuru viongozi wetu wote ambao wamehama chama, ambayo wamehama na wamewaingia katika chama chetu, chama tawala cha UDA.
If defections continue, history suggests three distinct scenarios for UDA's future. Scenario 1. Institutional survival. UDA loses prominent individual figures but remains a dominant national engine. Holding the presidency gives a political party a significant leverage, state visibility, patronage, and executive machinery. An office-holding party can absorb individual losses and still field candidates across every constituency. Scenario 2. A shrinking regional footprint. If defecting figures like Nyoro in Mount Kenya or Juma at the coast successfully take their own local bases with them, UDA risks losing ground in key electoral zones. As 2027 approaches, down-ballot candidates, MPs, governors, and MCAs calculate survival based on local sentiment. If UDA becomes a liability in their home districts, defection can quickly cascade. Scenario 3. A political party can discard all allies and construct new coalition. UDA could pivot by fielding a fresh generation of candidates, building new regional alliances, and shifting its core message. In political strategy, losing old weight is sometimes the price of moving fast in a new direction. There is, however, an overarching dynamic that UDA cannot escape the shadow of incumbency. Unlike opposition parties that exist largely on rhetoric and promises, a ruling party is judged strictly on government delivery. UDA's core strength and its primary vulnerability is its party leader, President William Ruto. When economic conditions, taxation policies, or government programs face public backlash,
let him deal with his own challenges that are self-inflicted. He mismanaged politics, he mismanaged the country, he made corruption a way of life, he made lies as his trademark, and Kenyans are fed up.
Tutazungumza na viongozi wote katika upinzani ambao wanaamini one term. Tuhakikishe kwamba, kwa sababu hawa ndugu zetu kina Rigiji wakienda peke yao, mimi najua watashinda Ruto, lakini watamshinda saa 8. Sisi wanalinda mwananchi, tukienda peke yetu tutashinda Ruto, lakini tutamshinda saa 8. Lakini wananchi wanatuambia hii kitu wanataka tumalize saa 12 asubuhi.
The party carrying the president brand inevitably absorbed that criticism. Exiting politicians point to a public dissatisfaction, and broken promises are their reason for stepping away.
You need to have a plan. Ama? Lakini mkikaa hamuna agenda, hamuna mpango, hamuna sera, hata akili inaonekana hamuna. Sasa kwa sababu kama wangekuwa na akili si wangekuwa wamepanga kitu.
So, is UDA crumbling? History in Kenya shows us that dominant political vehicles evolve or fracture constantly. KANU once held total dominance. Jubilee swept into power before undergoing major internal realignments. ODM re-strategized across multiple cycles. One or two politicians leaving does not destroy a party, but it serves as an early indicator. The real test lies in the answer to 4 questions. 1. Will the grassroots electorate follow the politicians who walk away? Can UDA defend strongholds in regions like Mount Kenya and the coast? Can the party successfully recruit more and promote a new wave of political leaders? And 4. Can it present a convincing vision for 2027 beyond political survival? If politicians leave but the voters stay, the party survives. If the politicians leave and the voters follow, the party faces a crisis. And if the party replaces its old guard, rebuilds its grassroots, and redefines its message, what looks like a collapse today can become the start of a new chapter. So, is UDA dying? Or are we simply watching the ruling party reinvent itself ahead of the next battle? My name is Bruce, and this is Bruce Uncovered. And until next time, stay curious.